This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. We're here at the press conference for the official launch of Sonny Edwards versus Yafai. Sonny, we just said off camera it must be a big fight if all the media's here. There's a lot of media here today. Big turnout for you, mate.
Yeah, I'm seeing all the boys here today. I'm seeing all the channels.
We're always here. We're at every show.
Yeah, but you got to come to my ones.
Why?
Because I said.
Fair enough. That is true. I don't think IFL's ever missed any of your fights. So remember, day ones, mate.
Yeah, man. I mean, a few of the faces have changed over the years, but yeah, man, IFL has run alongside my career since I was in the amateurs. So yeah, shout out.
Right, let's talk about why we're here today. The fight. We spoke earlier on in the week about Galal having to fight on Saturday. As I understand, that was a big part of him taking this fight. He wanted to make sure he had that run out. He got that run out, and now you faced off in the ring. What was said in the ring? Was anything said off camera? And yeah, how was the general vibe on Saturday night after he got that win?
Yeah, nothing really. I mean, I'm not really a fake person, I don't feel. So I'm not just like, oh, a fight's happening, Sonny going mad. Me and Galal, we've liked each other for years. We've spent hundreds of rounds sparring. We fought each other. We was on GB squad together. Known each other a long time. So, yeah, nothing crazy. Little talk, little back and forth, little best of luck with camp and keep it moving. Yeah, he's a cool guy, Galal. He always has been, but this fight is bigger than our friendship. You know what I mean? It's much bigger than that. And what he represents in my career and the setup that made it very hard for me to succeed in the way that I felt like my talent deserved when I was younger. It's still the system I'm going up against now. His trainer and his manager is still the head of GB, still making the decisions who goes to the qualifiers. And I had to get picked over him and me and Harvey Hearn, who had both beaten Galal in consecutive championships. Both was benched for Galal to go to the qualifiers. He went and qualified, but I think me and him would have done the same also, you know.
Does this fight on the 30th of November kind of end all of that for you? Is that an extra little bit of point to prove that you should have been going to those qualifiers? As you said, you beat him, Harvey Hearn beat him, and kind of Team GB, who is still with Galal now, made the run.
It's Rob McCracken, man. It's Rob McCracken. And I like Rob, and I spoke to him the other day, and I told him, nah, Rob, I like you. But when I beat Galal within 9 months, 6 months, you've made him the clear number one on the squad. When his performances in sparring weren't showing it, why he should have been there. Like, what do you expect me to think of someone that's dedicated all them years, all them runs and all those spars and all those fights to just get on GB, beat someone and then be like, whilst you're sat there waiting to get sent somewhere, this favourite has gone 5 times. And that was literally it. Not me joking, not me exaggerating. 5 different things, tournaments, fights he went to for GB before I got sent to my first. We got on GB at the same time, and I beat him. Do you understand where my gripe would come from? And it's not on Galal. It's not really even on Rob. It's the fact that when they was all sitting around making decisions, my name got left out. Even though for me, I was the best on there, and the whole time I've been the best. So it is what it is. And look now, I'll be going in the corner against the head of GB that was on GB picking people when I was fighting. And he'll probably have one of my old trainers seconding him. And he'll have the old physio, Gapman from GB, payroll, all of them, in his corner as well, doing his hands and cuts. So I'm literally fighting the system right now. I'm fighting, someone that's got a lottery-funded, paid gym, top stated facility for the best, the best our country has to offer. Rob McCracken's who decides who gets to do what in the amateurs. And then he also gets to decide who goes to the qualifiers. And he also gets to decide, with the first conversations and familiarity, of which fighters he works with. And for a long time, Rob weren't working with no one. He was letting them all leave, only picking a few that he wanted. And Galal was one of the few that he wanted. And like I said, I knew that they was pushing him over me when I was on the squad, even though I don't think they should have been. And it got under my skin.
Why do you think he chose Galal over you all those years ago?
There's probably a whole handful of reasons. When you think about who was training Galal's brothers, where they were training currently as professionals while this was all going on, if you think about the family ties, if you think about area, they're all from the same city. Like, let's be real, it's not hard to follow as to why. There was a favourite, and they made him the favourite, and they made it that way. Even when his results didn't put him there, because like I said, in 2 consecutive ABAs, he lost to Harvey and he lost to me. Then we're all on the squad at the same time, without a box off, without anything. He has now become the number 1 out of the group. Do you know what I mean? That's what happened. So, and they made that decision. The same people that I'm fighting now, they made that decision collectively, and you can only imagine that the head coach of GB had the biggest say. And that head coach of GB who had the biggest say is still in Galal's corner today. So you feel like, I don't think I'm being out of order. I don't think I'm even like, I don't know how this isn't like more spoke about or more thought of. Like, he's got a 6-figure salary coming from the lottery to also then sign fighters and train them, all under the GB roof. Yet me, I'll say I want to go to the next Olympics. Oh, sorry, you can't. Why can't I, Rob? You're deciding who goes. So why can't I? If I beat Glau, I think I should go to the next Olympic as the qualifier. And I'll qualify it. And I'll probably get a gold medal as well.
Is it a big regret in your career that you never got to go to the Olympics?
Not now, because I realise what the Olympics really is. It was the first circus that was made to distract us, and every 4 years, a group of people that we could never sit in a room with decide a lot that happens in the world around these moments. And they show us certain things, and they forebode certain things in the future. Go back, watch the London 2012 Olympic Games opening ceremony. I actually got to watch it live, the dress rehearsal. And if you're telling me you don't see 500 hospital bed and COVID mask and a big Grim Reaper in the middle of the stadium, then I don't know what to tell you.
Okay. I didn't see that, but obviously look, earlier on in this interview, you said this fight is bigger than our friendship, because obviously you've known Galal for a long time. In the build-up to making this fight, you have kind of questioned, in numerous interviews you've done with me, with IFL, with other people, if he wanted this fight. Did you do that just to try and get him to take this fight? Why was it more difficult to be made than it necessarily could have been? Or that's what it looked like from the outside looking in?
Well, I'd agreed it 2 months before I fought Curiel, so then 2 months later I fought Curiel, and then 2 months after I fight Curiel, it still hadn't been agreed and announced and done. So there was definitely a lot of like hoops to jump through. Had to have the 8-rounder, had to fight in Birmingham, had to be this, had to be that. Was getting more money, etc. Not for a second though I think Galal wouldn't fight me. We get in the ring with each other for free all the time when we were sparring, so I don't think that for a second. However, I do think that his manager and his trainer thought this fight could have taken a longer route too. I know that they looked for other conversations elsewhere outside of Matchroom. I know that for fact, not guessing. I know. Complaining that they've been made to take this fight. So I just think really what happened was, look, we're both on good purses, and they weren't. Like, I didn't get offered no one else. Bear in mind. What was annoying is I wasn't getting offered no one else. There weren't no like backup contingent plan. There was just Galal. So now I'm waiting for months and months and months, waiting for the update on just one opponent. And I weren't really trying to go anywhere else. Happy with the fight. But at the same time, I don't think it should take four months to make anything. You know, there was a bit of delay because his manager and trainer was at the Olympics, I was told. That caused it about 2.5 week delay, because no conversations can be happened around professional boxing when he was at the Olympics, apparently. But yeah, it was more, to make the fight happen. And 2, just to like let people know that it's not because of me why it didn't, if it didn't. It did, so I'm happy with that. I'm in the business of big fights, real fights only. I don't want easy touches, I don't want easy work, I don't want events that people don't care about. So line them up. Whoever's biggest fight after this, win, lose or draw, I'll take it. That's me.
I think throughout your career, like when you was world champion, even now the fight that you wasn't world champion after against Curiel, you've never backed away from anyone. You just look at the rankings and you take the highest that could be possibly picked. But this fight is a big fight between 2 Brits. Does that mean something different to you? Does that get you up for it? Because it is something different, and everyone kind of does love that domestic dance dancer.
100%, and my career's kind of been crying for them, to be honest. I broke out fighting Farag, I had a little bit of interest, but because he didn't say nothing or do nothing against Marcel. And then now this, like I've not really had the domestic fights. There wasn't no real domestic mainstay name that I could come through and beat him and create my name off. I had to become him. And now that's what we're seeing on the other side of it with Galal. The amount of money that obviously they're paying him. It's now you're fighting Sonny, you know what I mean? You're not fighting any of these fights that no one cares about. And I know what that's like, because no matter how good they are in reality, when you get in the ring with someone no one knows, it doesn't do anything.
For years, it was spoken about your brother fighting Cal. That fight never materialised. So, was you thinking at any point this could be the same frustration?
Nah, I'll be real. I think Galal is a bit different because I'm the big money fighter in the division. So, nah. I reckon maybe if it was the other way around, then maybe. But I don't know. I think Galal's a bit different to Cal. I don't think Cal could ever live. He probably thought he could beat my brother, but he probably could never live with losing to him. Now I can live with win, losing or drawing to Galal because I don't have any animosity towards him. It's not. This is my turn to prove that I should have been an Olympic gold medalist, really.
Whilst we're talking about it, brother, I haven't actually spoken to you on camera about last Friday. Thomas Asomba kind of come up short, but very, very valiant effort.
And my brother's actually been flown out by Matchroom today from Portugal, where he lives, to be on top table at the press conference. But apparently, not only would he not fight him for all those years, but Cal don't want to jump up on the stage, so I think that bit's cancelled now. Charlie and Cal was meant to be either side of me and Galal, but I think Cal's pulled out of that one as well, if I'm honest.
So Matchroom have flown your brother over, and now he won't be on the table, it don't look like.
Well, it doesn't look like it, but I can show you on the schedule right here if anyone thinks I'm lying. I'll show you just so you can vouch. Top table, Sonny Edwards, Charlie Edwards, Galal Yafai, Cal Yafai, Conor Walker, Lewis Ritson, Hamza and Aaron Bowen. So they've flown him all the way here to do the presser, and then just before it's about to go off, nah, your opponent don't want to do the press conference. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm sure you will bring that up in the press conference. Right, yeah, before we finish, what did you make of your brother's performance against Thomas Asomba?
I thought he boxed well. I thought in the first half of the fight, he started well. Then there was a couple of rounds I thought Thomas started, finding his rhythm. When Charlie was following him around, he was walking into backhands and he was getting caught with shots. But the moment he sort of got back to his bread and butter and boxing in and out of range, making it hard, he was making it hard for Thomas to throw enough shots to win the round, if that makes sense, where he was in and out, stinging in and out. And yeah, I think it was a very competitive fight. I had it a bit closer than what the scorecards did. I don't mind saying it. I had it about 7-5 to Charlie. But I thought it was a great fight. Thomas showed that he's got more than enough left. I thought it was a genuinely good technical competition between two good level fighters, and that's what it was. It was more of a technical chess match because both fighters have good range, good distance control, good ring craft, good footwork, good defence. So yeah, it might not have lit up and people getting put down and all messy. That's because they're both in control of what they're doing throughout the fight, and they had good engines to stay in that way. I think, yeah, Charlie deserved it with a bit more of the quality, a bit more of the volume in some of the rounds. But, yeah, I thought it was a good level competitive fight. Yeah, the right man won on the scorecards, but Thomas can come again. Thomas has shown time and time again that little setback means nothing to him because it's always what comes after it for him. So, I'll be supporting him 100% of the way. Thomas is my fighter, he's my friend, my family even. So yeah, it felt good for both fighters to see they both mean a lot to me. But disappointed for Thomas because we had a lot of belief in Thomas, and Thomas had a lot of belief in himself. And I think he might be kicking himself about just certain things he did or didn't do in the fight because there weren't massive margins, in my opinion.
Excellent. Sonny, thank you very much for being to IFLTV. Are we going to expect any old school vintage Sonny Edwards in this press conference?
But what is old school vintage, Sonny Andrews? Like, I don't know. People keep saying this stuff to me, yeah?
I would say, like...
I'm just reactive, man. Like, I'm reactive. If the moment someone says... People should... You know what people should do, yeah? Program the other people. Because the moment they give me something to go off, I'm going. But what I'm not is, I'm not a bullier, I'm not a problem causer. I'm a problem finisher. You know what I mean? I don't start it. I just end it. I just go further and for longer. So, yeah, I don't know. I doubt it. Because me and Glau are cool, so probably not.
Probably not, okay.
Eddie's probably going to be pissed after this.
Sunny, thank you very much for speaking to IFLTV. And we will see you, I'm assuming, a couple of times before November 30th, yeah.
In about 30 minutes on stage.